Hey kiddos, I'm so glad that you joined me for our daily video today. How are you liking ponytail Miss Evans? This is what Miss Evans looks like at home when she has to be a mom too. So hope you guys are enjoying seeing me look a little bit different. Today, to get started, we're going to play a different version of Guess My Word. If you were with me for the Zoom meeting on Friday, then you'll recognize this activity. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys a whole word, and then I'm going to ask you to take part of the word away. So for example, say the word birthday. Birthday. Now say it again, but don't say birth day. You see how it works? Birthday, but don't say birth. You're left with the word day. All right, let's try some of those. Ready? Say daytime. Now say it again, but don't say day. Time. Airport. Say it again, but don't say air. Port. Good. Say eyesight. Say it again, but don't say I. Sight. Say football. Say it again, but don't say foot. Ball. Disk drive. Say it again, but don't say disk. Drive. Say bedtime. Say it again, but don't say bed. Time. Say iceberg. Now say it again, but don't say ice. Bird. Say flashlight. Say it again, but don't say flash. Light. Say doorbell. Say it again, but don't say door. Bell. Keyboard. Say it again, but don't say key. Board. Haystack. Say it again, but don't say hay. Say greyhound. Say it again, but don't say gray. Hound. Say clockwise. Say it again, but don't say clock. Flies. Say halfway. Say it again, but don't say half. Way. Say grandson. Say it again, but don't say grand. Sun. Say bookcase. Say it again, but don't say book. Case. Say postmark. Say it again, but don't say post. Mark. Say racetrack. Say it again, but don't say race. One more. Say sandbox. Say it again, but don't say sand. Box. Very good. Is that fun? All right, guys, we're going to swap gears to our red words again. We have a big stack to review, so we're going to take these on a few at a time before we start introducing some new ones next week. All right, you ready? What? Loaded. What? Tap it. W-H-A-T. What? This one's a good example of why it's a red word, because think about what sound you're hearing. T. It's not the A sound, is it? It doesn't say ah, it doesn't even say ah like it would if it hung out beside an L. It says what? One, loaded. One. Wait a minute. What kind of one is this? This is one like I won a game, not the number one. Let's try it again. Loaded. One. Tap it. W-O-N, one. Said. Said. S-A-I-D. Said. B. B. B-E-B. Out. Out. O-U-T. Out. Have your parents told you to do that yet? To get outside? Call. Call. C-A-L-L. Call. Have. Have. H-A-V-E. Have. Uh-oh. Up. Up. U-P. Up. Find. Find. F-I-N-D. Find. upon, upon, U-P-O-N, upon. Help, help, H-E-L-P, help. Fantastic job, guys. We're going to go back to our math and our math review with time and money. So this should look real familiar. Let's start with time. Remember, our goal is to tell time to the half hour. So we need to know that if the hour hand is here, that means o'clock. And if the hour hand is here, that means 30 minutes or half past the hour. It also moves our big hand when we do that. Or excuse me, our little hand. When our big hand is up here, it's going to point directly at the hour. When our big hand is down here, it moves just a little bit too. When the big hand travels all the way around the clock, the small hand is moving from one number to the next. So it doesn't move quite as far as the big hand, but it's still moving the whole time. What time is this? 8:30. What time is it? 10 o'clock. What time is it? 11:30. What time is it? 1:30. Be careful and don't forget, if it hasn't passed the 2, then it's not 2 o'clock yet. We're still in the 1 o'clock hour all the way until it gets to that dot. That means 2. What time is it? 3 o'clock. What time is it? 4:30. 4:30. One more. Uh-oh. What time is it? 6 o'clock. Very good. Last thing is we're going to review some coins before we call it a day. Ready? We'll start with the faces first. Quarter. Penny. Nickel. Dime. Nickel. Quarter. Dime. Penny. Quarter. Penny. Nickel. Dime. Do you remember how to tell the silver coins apart? The penny's the easiest. Abraham Lincoln is on the brown penny, and it's easy to figure out. But sometimes all these silver coins can get a little mixed up. So let me remind you guys, the dime is the easiest to spot. President Roosevelt is on the dime, and he is the newest president out of all the presidents on the coins. And it looks like it. He looks like somebody that we could see today. He has short hair, no ponytail for him. So President Roosevelt is on the dime. This is a dime. Now these two can get mixed up a lot because both men have ponytails. But there's one easy way to tell them apart. George Washington on the quarter, you cannot see the collar of his shirt, and he has what I call a floating head. It doesn't touch the bottom ring of the coin. So he does have the ponytail, but he's also got this kind of curl back here, and you cannot see his shirt. This is George Washington quarter. On the dime, we have Thomas Jefferson, who also has a ponytail, but you can clearly see the collar of his shirt, and his head kind of sits on the bottom. It does not float in the air like George Washington's head does on the quarter. So this one's the nickel. How about the back? Do you guys remember those? Nickel, dime, quarter, penny, quarter, penny, dime, nickel, quarter, penny. Let's talk about the backs of the coins real quick. If you can remember who's on the front, then you can remember a little bit about who's on the back. Do you remember who's on the front of the penny? That's Abraham Lincoln. And on the back is the Lincoln Memorial. It's not the White House, it's the Lincoln Memorial. Abraham Lincoln, Lincoln Memorial. And here's an easy way to tell them apart. The Lincoln Memorial has a flat top, and Abraham Lincoln was well known for wearing a tall, flat hat. It's called a stovepipe hat. It was very long and flat across the top. Just like his memorial, it's flat across the top. Abraham Lincoln, Lincoln Memorial. The other one that has a house on the back is the nickel. Do you remember who's on the front? That's Thomas Jefferson. And on the back we have the Jefferson Memorial. The Jefferson Memorial is different from the Lincoln Memorial because it has a dome on the top. That's one way to tell these apart, even if they're on paper and just plain old black and white. The Jefferson Memorial has a dome. It actually matches the house that he built. Thomas Jefferson, Jefferson Memorial with the dome on top. The dime's completely different. It has the torch and the 2 branches on each side, so no house for the dime. This is a dime. By the way, it says it right here, D-I-M-E, dime. Now, the quarter is the most difficult one for me to teach because my example does not have the traditional back of the quarter, but that's okay because there's lots and lots of different backs to a quarter. They did something several years ago where every state got its own special back to a quarter, and this is what you see here. This is New York's back to the quarter. So you might see all kinds of different things on the back of the quarter, but the most traditional one is the eagle, probably the easiest one to find too. But just as a heads up, there are lots of different backs to the quarters, so that's not the only one. You'll definitely know it's a quarter though if it has George Washington or if it has an eagle on the back. All right, guys, it's been fun talking to you. Hope you guys will meet with me on Friday. I'm going to put some more details about that soon. They've asked us not to use Zoom anymore, so we're going to use a different program, and I'll put that out in Class Dojo. Don't forget about your Pound and Tap assignment. That'll be in the link with this video. We've also logged into a new math program. So that's your math assignment for today, to log into happynumbers.com. You'll need my class code that I provided on Dojo, and then you will log in with your lunch number. And then you'll take a quick little test. It'll decide what you need to practice, and then there's lots of little fun activities on there for you guys to do. It's kind of like Math Centers on the computer. So instead of a card game, your assignment today is to log into happynumbers.com, enter my class code from Class Dojo, and log in with your lunch number and at least get through the test. Maybe play one game. Okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow.